Hey guys, I'm Mark,
I'm Alon.
and welcome to another episode of The Next Man Up. You know, I can't help just bobbing my head to this, right? I don't know.
Bouncing.
There's something about it that's just catchy.
It is, dude. I dig it. Good choice.
Welcome back to the mic.
Welcome.
Good to see you again.
You too, my friend.
Welcome back, listeners. Hope you've been enjoying the content so far in this 2K19.
2K19. Wow. Goodness, man.
I know.
Realizing the more and more the years go on, I start realizing more and more how old I am. It's like, oh gosh, this is not good.
Yeah.
In some perspective.
Right,
Other perspective is like, I don't ever want to go through puberty again.
I feel you.
Never. I don't want it. It was weird.
It was weird. Yeah, I agree. I totally
really
agree.
Weird.
Yeah.
But I guess we do need to struggle to, eventually figure ourselves out. But you know what? I'm still trying to figure myself out. But it's still.
So on the old front, I was with some friends recently who just recently had another child, and so I turned 46 early this year, and they're about 3 or 4 years younger than me, and just had their 5th child.
Oh.
Yeah. And they've got their oldest is 14 or 13, and so they're progressively younger from there. But they just had a baby, and Kristen and I were hanging with them, seeing their baby, and just celebrating with them.
Yeah.
And Kristen's their oldest child is holding this little baby girl, and she's not even 6 pounds. She's tiny, right? And I'm doing the math in my head, and the last time that I had one of my own children at that age was longer ago than she is old.
Oh, wow.
That probably didn't make sense. So our youngest was adopted, and we didn't get her until 6 months old. This child was 2 weeks old. And so that puts me back to my last bio kid, which was 16 plus years ago. Jeez. Since I had a baby in one of my children that age in my arms. I'm like, holy cow, I feel old.
A lot has happened in 16 years.
A lot has happened in 16 years. And it's all good. It's all good, but just that feeling old. 2K19. Yes.
Yeah, fathers, we feel your pain out there.
Yes, you are not alone. You are not alone.
Not
Stay young in your mind, right?
Yeah, not too young though, because, some of us, when we were really young, we were idiots. So let's not go that far.
That's fair. That's fair.
What's going on? What's on the agenda today, man?
I read so there's a blog that I follow. It's called Manhood Journey. Okay. And the author of this blog recently is probably like the turn of the year, was just kind of going through some different lies that he felt men believe. And it caught my attention because I can relate to some of these. Maybe I've fallen prey to some of these. I imagine some of our listeners are feeling the tension here, and it's interesting. I will share these, and then we can kind of react.
Okay.
They're similar in nature. The author divided them up and nuanced them a little bit, but the 3 different lies that he challenged men to overcome or to not buy into was, number 1, I need time to unwind. And the context is, right, coming home from work, and I need time to unwind from that. The second lie is I need me time, which goes beyond just I need time to unwind.
Yeah.
And then the third one was I need time for hobbies. So
how dare he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just joking.
So it sounds a little controversial on the surface.
Yes.
And yet the common theme is I need for me, I need for me, I need for me. Yeah, and he's very careful, and rightly so, to recognize that self-care is important. You know, I heard somebody say this a while back. It was the first time I've ever heard anybody say it, and I really liked it. But the guy that mentioned this he was stretched too thin, and he was spent, and he's like, I can't pour from an empty cup. I've got to be able to fill my cup. And I totally get that. And instantly in that conversation recognized, oh, I've been there too. I've been empty. So we are not saying here that you run yourself to the point of empty to where you have nothing left in the cup.
That's not smart.
No. So it's the other extreme where it's just this, I guess I'll use this word, kind of this selfish attitude of I need time to do all these things for me. Mm-hmm. And what this author is saying is it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie that we buy into. And as a result of buying into that lie, things go askew or things go awry in the relationships in particular that really matter.
Interesting.
So reactions,
like I'm trekking with everything that you're saying. So is it more or less, is it less that it's a lie, or is it that more so that we swing the pendulum too far?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in a sense, some would say every lie has some truth to it. And so I am a firm believer of pausing. I believe that everyone should pause in their day and take a beat, take a breath, recalibrate, take stock, whatever you want to do, or just hit the pause button on life just to sit and be. Like, I believe in that. Actually, with studies like coming forth about the human brain and about even trauma on the human brain, a lot of people are pushing towards mindfulness and being thoughtful. Mm-hmm. Mindfulness and mindfulness techniques. And a lot of it is about having calm moments during the day, because our brain is continuously running, and things come at us all day. We live in a world where, yes, there is good, but also just not so good things happen as well. And so how do we engage that and still come out okay? Like, pausing is important.
Yeah.
I like to do that. I have set on my phone times during the day where it reminds me, pause.
Interesting.
And then I just stop. I might go off and if I'm at school, I might go sit in my office. If I'm home, I might take a little walk, or I might go upstairs in my bedroom and just pause. And in those moments I do different things. So unwinding to me is pausing. Unwinding is going, I've been running 100 miles an hour, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, I've been driving 75 miles an hour down the highway. I need to slow down and take a breath. You know what I mean? Life is not a sprint. It's a marathon, and we got to do that. So even in saying that, though, I think as I read the article, it was more like this guy was like, at least what came up in my mind is no, I don't necessarily think it's a lie to so-called unwind. I think the terminology is wrong. Can be a little skewed, but I think that throwing it completely in the opposite direction of running full steam or just having life happen is to just stop and remain stopped. That's a problem. What they say, a body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest.
Right.
Well, I know one thing. I watch one episode of Netflix. I want to watch a second one. And if I allow myself to do that, I'll blink, and next thing you know, I'm in season 3.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I think we have to be cautious, because it goes from I'm taking care of myself so I can take care of the things that I'm supposed to be taking care of, to I am just going to be like totally about me. And that to me like ruins relationships that you're connected with. When your eyes focus on your own navel the whole day.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, I guess there's degrees, and it depends on how much time you have in life, have during the day or whatever. But when you like, what I like to do is I like to set my whole day out and go, well, how much of this time do I need to work? Well, how much of this time, honestly, my family, how much am I spending with my family? How much am I taking care of like my relationship? Me, I believe in Jesus. And so I want to make sure that I'm like throughout the day on this wavelength where I'm like connecting, you know, and I'm being aware of his presence and his voice, like in my life. Where are my friends at? You know what I mean? And you start like looking at all the time, and sometimes I could see myself. I'm going, wow, I spent 3 hours doing what?
Right.
Like, but my son needed me, my
Yeah.
daughter needed me, like, you know what I mean? My wife needed me, or man, I spent like this whole week doing what? But I never contacted a friend. I never checked in on him or her about what situation happened last week. It's like, you know, like if we're not staying aware of that, I think that's when the pendulum swings the other way.
Yeah.
And unwinding for however long, like we think it's healthy for us, like all of a sudden becomes way too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it comes to where this article says.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I'm thinking. Less
Yeah.
of a lie, but more of swinging the pendulum the opposite way.
Yeah, I'm with you. So you know this about me. I don't really enjoy social media. I don't. And I could have lived an entire life full and complete without social media. Yeah. However, it's part of how we operate today. Yeah. And so I'm present, I'm aware. But doggone it, Facebook has this feature on their app that suggests videos. It's like this whole separate module at least within the iPhone app. And it will prompt me with the little red number 1,
yes.
number 2, number 3, like there's something here that you should look at.
Take a look.
And I know this is small, but 30, 45 minutes later, and I'm still watching stupid Fail Army and America's Funniest Video and Practical Joke. And then I'm like, really? I couldn't have engaged with the people around me. Yeah. I couldn't have found a better way to spend 30. Yes. And this is just 30 or 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not whole seasons of shows that I've binged on. And that's happened too. I don't mean to say that I'm above that, but just like this darn phone in my hands can consume time, just like it sucks it right away from me, and then it's gone.
Yep.
So whatever opportunity existed during that time period where I'm navel gazing, my own navel, it's gone, and I can't get it back.
Nope. No.
And I think that's really the essence of what we're talking about here is how are we as fathers, as husbands, as men, how are we using our time? And is it too skewed toward the vegging, right? Or is it as intentional as possible with still some time for pause or some self time so that we're not completely depleted.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the pendulum isn't on the other side where we're fat and lazy and happy, metaphorically speaking, right? I'm not talking about physical size, but like we've become so bloated in consuming things that we're just wasting time.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. And you know, it's like I want to make something clear. Like, I am not against vegging, so to speak. You know, like I veg on vacation.
Yeah.
Like, I will just sit there by the pool and just chill, hang out with my fam, and or if I take a trip with fellas, I might just hang out with the fellas. Vegging it's not wrong to veg.
How are you, so not to just completely cut you off, but how are you defining vegging,
Well,
when you're thinking about
just
it?
like just sitting for long periods of time. I think we could create space for that, and I think that's good, honestly. Like, so I named one vegging moment, vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Totally needed. Like, we need to chill out. We got to learn to relax.
Yeah.
We don't have to do all the time. I think, in our culture, there is definitely a push to do.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You can only push that body for so long.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before it just starts breaking down on you. And so, that's one, but we can veg mentally, we can veg physically. There's moments where, like, you know what? I don't want to hang out with people. I'm spent. I'm done. So relationally, I need to chill.
Yeah.
All right. You can name it however you want. Chilling, vegging, whatever. So I get that idea, and I agree with that there's times to chill, or veg, or whatever you want to call it. But doing it like in a way that it just, you're right, we become just overgrown, like gardens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That haven't been tended. Like, we can't do that and expect to be productive with our lives in total or in sectional. If I don't like hang out with my wife, if I don't hang out with my kids, if I don't plan and then go ahead and just do stuff with friends and with my work and whatever, like, I think it said there's an author who said, a little sleep, a little slumber, and the garden grows vines. You know what I mean? It just goes out of place. I hope I said that right. But the idea is, like, dude, don't sleep too much. Sleep is important. Good. But you sleep the whole day and, like, your whole life becomes ruined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
Yeah. It's interesting when I refer to veg, when I use the word, I think of the pattern in my own past where I would come home from some hard day or some hard work or whatever. It may not have been paid work. It could have been outside taking care of the house or property work. Anyway, I come in, and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to think anything. I don't want to relate with anybody. So I turn on the television, watch a movie, watch a show or something, and I just check out. That for me is what I think of with vegging, and to a point that can be it can be a beneficial timeout, I think.
Yes.
But when that becomes the habit or the expectation or the pattern, you get home from work at 6:30, 7 o'clock. It's been a long day. You don't want to relate to anybody. You turn on the television. You watch 2 hours. It's 9 o'clock. And what's happened? Where have your kids been? What have you done with your family? How have you engaged with your spouse? What type of home chores have you done in the last 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go take a quick shower and get myself ready for bed and then go to sleep. Like, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've lived that. I've been there. And my life is in a completely different space now for many different reasons. But that's what I see as the temptation that becomes too self-consuming. And when I define the word veg, that's like the negative side of what happens when you get focused on this me time.
Yeah, man. It's interesting. My mind went straight to, like, the article also speaks about, like, what's the third one? I need time for my hobbies.
Yeah.
And whatever. We may.
Yeah, it's hobbies.
All right. Don't mind me. We'll get to the second one if you'd like. But it jumps to the third one, which is, I think, is another direction as well. It's almost like the things that I like to do become what I do to get away and check out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's chill too. So, like, I remember Shannon and I would have serious arguments. Serious arguments, because I would go and I would practice breaking, like just dancing for like 2 to 4 hours. Like, and she'd be like, well, what about us? And I'm going, but babe, I need to. Like, you know, I don't want to lose this. This is who I am. Important. You know what I mean? This is what I do. And like, you know, it took a while, but it finally started sinking in. Like, dude, like, you dancing may go away, but your family won't. You know, like, dude, you need to stop checking out in this way. Like, you need to come back to reality. And it took a lot of like, and babe, if you're listening to this, thank you for your patience in those moments, you know, and allowing us together to work this out and whatnot. Thank you. But like, I had to like step back, like too much of even the other way of like, well, I'm doing something productive. I'm working on my car. I'm going fishing. I am playing basketball with the fellas. I am working on music. Like, when it swings the opposite way too, like, there's a problem. Like, we're allowing that to take over time that we should be doing something else. I heard a interesting definition for freedom. Freedom is not living with no restraints. Freedom is engaging and find a balance of engaging or not engaging in something so that you could do what you were meant to do. You know, that's freedom, you know? And so, like, you know what? I want to be a really good man. I just do. Like, I want to be a good man. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good friend. I want to be a good father. And so in order to do that, I've had to take a step back from some things. I've had to shut the door on some stuff, so that I can engage in what I was meant to do. You know? And the freedom that's coming along with that, the you know what? I'm not going to spend 3 or 4 hours breaking every night. I'm just not going to do that. Why? Because I want to build into this awesome relationship I have with Shannon. I want to build into the relationships with my kids. Like, I want to be the dad who's going to be around. Like, closing those doors has given me the freedom to really engage in this thing over here. And it's been beautiful, you know? And so, like, are there some restraints? Are there some doors closed? But man, when you push the banks of a swamp, like, what happens is the water begins to flow, like, true. You know, it's not this stagnant thing anymore. And I think, like, when I look at our, like, at least my life, that's what I've been doing. I've been pushing in the banks. I've been building these walls, so to speak, to keep in, so that I can freely flow into what I feel like I'm called to do.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. For me, it takes me back to before kids, and when Kristen and I were early married, and she worked a little bit later and had some evening engagements early on, and I didn't particularly on a regular basis. And so during warm weather, I would golf. I would golf, you know, once during the week after work, go play 9 holes, or sometimes on the weekend, sometimes by myself, sometimes with others. And then kids came along, and she wanted to stay home and be a full-time mom at home, which meant she dealt with babies and toddlers and right. So she was anxious for adult conversation. In fact, often I would come home, and early on she'd be standing at the door with the child in her hand saying, "Tag, you're it, right? I'll be back in a few hours. I need some me time." So golf got put on hold. And for the most part, I was fine with that. Now, there are times where it'd be nice to be out more, right? That me time, that hobby. I miss it. I enjoy playing the game. I enjoy being outside, wandering through, you know, a beautiful park, right? That just happens to be a place where you play the game. But I've always said, golf will be there. Golf will be there after the kids are not. and yet the kids, they're not going to wait for me. You know, they're not going to wait until dad's done with his 12th round of golf this month. They're just not. They're going to continue to grow and do their thing. And I'm either going to be engaged or I'm going to miss it. And
the cat's in the cradle and the 9-iron.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't, again, not patting myself on the back, but early on, I knew part of my desire and my responsibility is to be a father that's engaged. And so the golf clubs collect dust.
Yeah.
And they come out occasionally when the stars align. Yeah. And maybe when the kids move on, I will pick them up again and play more regularly, but I will not have regrets of spending too much time on the golf course or in the gym or in the studio, whatever it is, because I missed time with the kids. Now, again, I'm not perfect. And there are so many opportunities that I miss because I'm on stupid Facebook or I'm lost in something else, right? Yeah. But I want to keep those few and far between because seasonally, for the period at which my kids are in the house and they need an active and engaged father, I want to play that role.
Yeah. And I hear you, and I've shared too, like the struggle is there. Like I think we have to name that struggle, you know, because it's look, whatever anyone is doing out there is on you. Like, but we have to like understand that there is a thought process that goes behind this. There's a struggle of letting go. There's a struggle of like putting myself aside, putting me aside so that I can, you know, engage with others or in the thing that I'm supposed to be doing at that moment. There's a struggle with that, and the struggle is real. Like the struggle is real. And Mark, I love that you just said I'm not perfect because I'm not either, man. Like sometimes I win the round. Yeah. And other times, like, oh my gosh.
Knocked flat on my back,
I'm like,
right?
Please, I couldn't wait for that bell to ring. like I am dying out here. Yeah. I'm losing this one. You know what I'm saying? When I think of that, I think of like, you know, the Rocky moments. He's not a man. He's a machine. Like, you know, it's like those things come at us over and over and over again. Like, no, you should be doing this. Oh, dude, totally time to veg. Oh, bro, one more episode of Game of Thrones. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like over and over. Or like, you know, one more round of golf. Like, one more dance. Like, name it. It's out there. The struggle is real. But, like, we can overcome, guys. Like, we can be better. Yeah. Like, we can overcome and be better if we push past the selfish I like syndrome. Yep. I need. Do we? Right. Do we really need? Or is it more that we just really want to?
And what do they need?
Yeah. Right. And it's like, dude, like you start thinking about that and you put yourself aside, it helps. Yeah. It helps in the struggle. But the struggle is real.
The struggle is real. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, well, good thoughts, man. I figured this might generate discussion. It doesn't take much to get us going, but it is a good reminder that there's a healthy balance between what I need to be whole and complete and full and rested and refreshed, right? Yeah. And what others need of me. Yeah. You know, it's like that need that I fulfill in myself is so that I can give myself away to those that matter most in my life. Not so that I can just continue to be on this IV drip of veg, right? So
hey, I want to be a man of my word, and so I said we would go back to the second lie, which was I need me time. Yeah, which, you know, I see the natural progression. So if you were wondering out there what the second lie is that this author of this article was saying is basically I need me time.
Yeah, and I would say that we all need me time.
Oh, dude,
to an extent. Right?
Yeah, to an extent,
and to be able to fill ourselves up so that we can then give away. So,
agreed.
It's a good challenge. You know, even if regardless of where we are on the spectrum of being able to live this way, it's a good challenge and a good reminder that there's always more that we can do. We can be more intentional. Yeah. We can be better.
Yeah.
And so I guess maybe that's the message that we'll leave you listeners with today, regardless of whether you're really struggling or you wanted to make some tweaks. Mm-hmm. You can be better, and we invite you to do it with us, and we challenge you to do it so that you can be the dad that's in the mix. I keep hearing the Toby Mac song rolling around through my head. I want to be a husband that stays legit. I want to be a dad who's in the mix.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Toby. I see you, bro.
That's right. All right, dude. Well, thanks again, listeners. Thanks for joining. As we have been, just inviting you to give us a rating out on iTunes if you're so inclined.
Yes.
And just a reminder that if you got questions, comments, suggestions, whatever, you can hit us up at feedback@thenextmanup.com, and we would love to hear from you. So with that, until next time, we'll say
adios.
Adios. Hey, listeners, thanks for journeying with us on this Next Man Up podcast. We would love to hear from you. Maybe you have a question or an idea, perhaps a topic for us to consider. If that's you and you want to reach out to us, you can get us at feedback@thenextmanup.com. That's feedback@thenextmanup.com. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, we'll see you later.